All right, let's talk about game two. North Carolina off a bye week last week. Mac Brown's Tar Heels at 3-4. They had North to take on Virginia. The Cavaliers 4-3. This is a noon game on Saturday on the CW. Virginia a 5-point favorite on the grounds of Mr. Jefferson's University.
Yeah, the UNC UVA matchup has been called the South's oldest rivalry ever since I started covering it in the late 1980s. Although, fun fact, the Auburn-Georgia football series actually started 1 year earlier, so go figure. But the Tar Heels have a very slight edge over the Wahoos on the gridiron historically, going all the way back, believe it or not, to the late 1800s. But Virginia has won 5 of the last 7 matchups, including 3 of the 5 played since Coach Mac Brown returned to Chapel Hill. These trips to Charlottesville have been especially haunting for Brown, who wasn't able to win even one road game against those George Welsh-coached UVA squads during his first UNC tenure, even as, remember, Brown was building a program that posted 8 straight winning seasons in Chapel Hill, including those back-to-back finishes in the national top 10. These UNC UVA games tend to be pretty close on the scoreboard, both back in the 90s and more recently. I would not be surprised if that's the case again this year, because while neither team is great, each one has enough weapons to beat the other. Carolina, of course, has the best running back in the ACC and one of the best in the country in Omarion Hampton. UVA has one of the best wide receivers in the ACC in Malachi Fields. UNC has one of the best cornerbacks in the conference in Elijah Huzzy. UVA has one of the best safeties in the league in Jonas Sanker. Neither team has been great at the line of scrimmage on either side of the ball, although the Wahoos have been much more efficient than the Tar Heels defensively. There is not a major advantage at quarterback, I don't see, for either team, although UVA's Anthony Calandria, he's a true sophomore who just turned 20 years old this week. He's more dangerous as a runner, and he's a slightly more accurate passer than UNC's veteran Jacoby Criswell, the 23-year-old fifth-year senior who began this season as the Tar Heels' third-string QB. Overall, this appears to be a pretty even matchup. So the usual indicators, turnovers, penalties, mental mistakes, big plays, etc., probably will determine the outcome in this one. And UVA does have a slightly better track record this season than the Tar Heels do in those areas under the Cavaliers' third-year head coach Tony Elliott, who is hoping to take the Wahoos to their first bowl game on his watch in what would be the program's first bowl game in 5 years in Charlottesville.